to LA to try and give it a second whirl. And the choice was, do I go to school and want to become a teacher? It was my life's dream, was to become a teacher or singer. And I felt singing part, okay, done. I'm going to have to move into singing and to become a teacher. I got a call from Frank De Lima, and Frank said that Loyal Garner was looking for someone to perform with her in Waikiki, and that potentially I could move and then perform with him in a show. And I said, when I took a look at the contract offer, it was a really hefty sum of money to go in and do that. And so I said, this is God's way of telling me it's time for you to take on that second career. So from 24, I started at Leeward Community College, and then I started working there, and at night with Loyal Garner, Henry Capono, a show with him, and then with Frank De Lima for 3 years.
That's Polynesian Palace? Was that the name of the
Polynesian Palace?
Yeah.
And Bruno was actually one of the acts in there. He was the Baby Elvis thing.
Nice.
And so we were there, and then I got my bachelor's degree, and then I started teaching. And when I started teaching, I said, it's good. I have a bachelor's degree in history, but I really need one in education, but I needed to find one on a night that I wasn't performing, and so I was able to go to University of Phoenix, and they were offering on Wednesday nights a course. I mean basically the 18-month master's course in education.
Right.
And so was able to every Wednesday night, made sure I didn't have any gigs on those evenings. And later attained my master's degree in education. And after about a couple of years of teaching, I realized that what I really wanted to do was become an administrator, because I felt that you could affect more people as an administrator than as a teacher. And not really. It was I knew after a couple of years, but it didn't become an administrator until about maybe like 6 or 7 years later. So I taught different grade levels, because knowing that if I become an administrator, I want to know how to do that. And after teaching for a while, I was offered a position as a curriculum coordinator, and then later after teaching high school as a vice principal, and then later as a professor. When I was working as a vice principal, I felt that with everything that I do, I need to make sure I have a degree that supports what I do.
Yeah.
So, bachelor's degree I wanted because that was my passion, but then master's education is what I needed to really be qualified to do what I do.
Right.
And then when I became an administrator, I said I need to get an administration degree. So there was a program here in Hawaii where USC flies down the professors every 2 weeks. And we have the same classes that they do in California, and you can kind of go back and forth. And so I ended up attaining my doctorate degree after about 3 years at USC in educational leadership. So just making sure that I have the degrees that fit the positions that I'm in. And so I worked as a professor at Chaminade University for a year. Once I got my doctorate degree, thinking that I would maybe work more in the college area. But then I was asked to apply for the job in St. Louis, not thinking that I would ever get it, because I had no connections to St. Louis at all, being from Kauai and graduating from Kauai High School. But took on that role, and when I got the position, in my first year, I was a hybrid principal/president. There was no principal at the school. And then in my second year, we hired a principal, and then I became just pure president of the school.
Was this, what year was this? When did you first got into St. Louis?
2015.
2015. Before that, were you in were you vice president at
I was at vice principal. I was teaching at Maryland for 4 years in high school, and then I became vice principal of the elementary school for 2 years, and then I moved to the high school for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you're pretty much at the position. You're good. Like
well, you're a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, for me, at the high school level, this is the highest you can get to as far as president in a private school setting. In a public school setting, that would be equivalent to a superintendent.
Oh, okay.
And so, here in Hawaii we have one, but on the mainland you have superintendents in all the different areas. And so, the training that I received at USC kind of trained us to be superintendents. And so that it helped me in this position, and it's really been great. Being at St. Louis School has been amazing. It's
Incredible.
been an amazing learning experience. Just it challenges me every day to become better at what I do, and it just like when you teach in the classroom, your students will definitely let you know if you're weak in a particular area,
Right.
and so each year you become a stronger teacher. Where as with administration and being a president, the faculty, your parents, they will let you know if you're not carrying your weight in certain areas.
Right.
And so
Which is good that
Yeah.
they're involved. 'Cause it's
I
what
want
you
them
see,
to
right?
be. I want
Right.
them to be. Yeah.
The parents know you.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that
oh,
what I try and do, one of the things I've tried to do as president is, it's funny, when I was at Marino School, I felt really good about what I had contributed to Marino School before I left. I was able to write some grants and get some grants
Oh,
for
nice.
some learning and do some different things. But when I left Marino School, the funniest thing is, the one thing that the parents would remember me for is the fact that I used to wake up early in the morning and greet the kids and get them out of the car, and then at the end of the day, help the kids into the car, and that's how they got to know me. I talked to them. They would share with me what's happening, what I need to know.
Right.
Hey, can you check with this person? And so I've tried to do, as president, I can't do it every day, but I try to do it at least once a week.
Right.
I'll go in and greet the parents, open the doors, talk to them, and then when it's time for drop off.
So is that
Yeah,
same
what
thing.
level? Elementary, or is there a general drop off for St. Louis?
Well,
or-
I did it first at the elementary school as vice principal, and then at the high school I said, you know what, we need to continue this. So I actually did it at the high school level, which wasn't done
Yeah.
prior to that, because at the high school level,
Yeah.
they don't need help out of the car or anything, but it was just good to do.
Be there.
Right.
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
be
yeah.
there. But at St. Louis School, we were middle school and high school when I first got in, and in my second year we started an elementary school, so we opened grades K to 5,
Wow.
and so now it's a K to
And
12.
co-ed or?
No.
straight
still.
That I think at St. Louis School, if St. Louis School were to become co-ed, it would have had to be done in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Because right now Iolani School is right down the street from
Right.
us, and at one time they were the small school and we were the large school.
Mm.
St. Louis was the two powerhouses were St. Louis School and Punahou,
Right.
as far as everything, academics,
Right.
athletics. But Iolani became a powerhouse in I think it was late 70s, early 80s when they became a co-ed
Oh,
institution,
okay. I'll start.
and right down the street from us. And a lot of parents tend to prefer the co-ed because of convenience. They want their kids to be with the girls.
Right.
Some of the students want to be with girls. The girls want to be with guys. And so Iolani grew immensely and
Right.
became a really big power. But right now, it's best for us to be all boys. One, because of the tradition of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the other thing is we're unique now. St. Francis is co-ed now.
True.
Damien School is co-ed.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
Right.
So we're the only real all-boys school from K to 12.
Mm.
St. Andrews Prairie has a K to 4, I believe, elementary.
All girls?
St. Andrews Prairie is K to 12 all girls,
Right.
but they also have a K to 4 academy for boys.
Oh.
Oh.
And so but other than that, we're the only all boys
Wow.
institution in Hawaii, and St. Louis School goes all the way back to 1846 when it started.
Right.
So the tradition is really rich.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's.
So we'll keep it all
important.
boys. Yeah.
So with that said, and with the parents, being, growing up and, not to make it feel old here, but we all remember you. Do you come out and do a special, like at any pep rally or any type of situation where like you just bust out?
Well, the kids,
out the hits.
the kids
Worth
think it's
it.
really funny. Number one, to see me, 100 pounds lighter when I was 16 years old.
And ironically, they still play your video
Yeah.
on MTV to this day.
Oh, that's
It's-
amazing.
there's a channel called MTV Classic
Yeah,
that
oh my
is
gosh.
in rotation.
Oh,
She ain't worth it.
Oh yeah, the kids, they think it's the funniest thing in the world. And at assemblies they'll ask, usually at least once a year, they'll come up and they'll have some kind of medley, and at the very end of the medley they'll be singing my song, or they're impersonating me.
There you go.
Wow.
And so,
As they should.
but they do it all in fun, and I enjoy it. It's
Right.
it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's nice because as busy as I am going out to try to raise money for the school and do other things, the thing I enjoy the most is really meeting the kids and being with them.
Yeah.
And so, although I can't fully develop the relationships that I want to the same way I did when I was a teacher, I'm hoping. I try my hardest to be there as much as I can for them.
So before we get to our finale here that we created, real quick question. ILH is now playing the OIA.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you guys as administrators have say in that kind of changes, or is it?
Well, the situation there is one where the OIA really has had the power from day one
Right.
because they have the numbers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they've been the ones that have been controlling whether or not the ILH we've been wanting to play the
Right,
OIA.
right.
We've been asking, we've been begging, and please let us do this, because what's been happening on our side is that ultimately the end goal is we want our students to be able to go to college and hopefully get some kind of scholarship.
Right.
And for our kids to be able to do that athletically is really important, because a lot of kids, that's where they shine. But on top of that, there are schools out there that are declining people who have perfect scores in the SATs.
Oh.
You have schools like, I believe, Stanford declines about 2,000
Wow.
a year that have perfect scores. Something like
Wow.
something
Yeah,
along those
yeah.
lines. I don't know if that's
Right.
the exact number. But you need something else. Like, you need to be strong academically, but something else, whether
Right.
it's leadership, whatever it may be that they're looking for. And for a lot of students, it's athletics. And so our college people are coming down to St. Louis School. They're asking about our students and who are athletes, and they're saying, "Hey, I only have game tape against Punahou and Kamehameha. That's it.
Right.
Like, that's all we played 3 times
yeah.
during the regular
Yeah.
season." It's hard to tell because that Punahou left end is really just as strong as our right tackle, and we don't know how well this guy can play it, really. So actually, about a year ago, I got together with the president of Punahou School, Jim Scott, and then I got together with the CEO at Kamehameha School, and basically I told them, I said, look, let's really try really hard to work on this. And I made a presentation to the ILH board, which I'm on now, which I wasn't at the time. And I just said, hey, look, this is I know that the OIA thinks that we are recruiting kids, but we're not. We're not recruiting kids. They want to play for our coaches. It's all about coaching.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
They want to pay for the best coach. And
Yeah.
if you got a great coach,
Yeah.
they want to come.
Right.
Hey, he's got the legend.
And we got Cal here.
Yeah.
So anyway, but let's put the recruiting thing to the side, because we're not doing that. And if it is happening, it would be happening at a very low level with some assistant coach or something that we don't know about, because we're trying our very best. We talk to our coaches. You can't do this. There's certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
And so we have these teams that I mentioned to ILH, go ahead, talk to them and say, look, put this whole concern about recruiting on the side, because there are a lot of kids that are going to Mililani right now that don't live in Mililani because they have such a great coach and they're getting exceptions. So
Right.
you can't say, people are just going to the best coaches.
Right.
And so let's, for the sake of the students, our kids were literally, I'm on the field watching guys try to hurt each other on the field because they're paying each other for a third time.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and so they actually came through. After some negotiations, they said, you know what, we'll go and let's make this happen on a 2-year basis. We'll try it out.
Oh, it's 2 years. Okay.
And we'll see. Now, they're making most of the money on this. When we
Right.
played their stadium, we had to sign an agreement that they make all the money from it. We make none of it. And essentially, St. Louis School is going to lose about $40,000 because of this deal. But we felt that $40,000 is well spent if it means that one other person will be able to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
so it's really about the kids. It's about them not getting hurt. It's also about the strong teams playing other strong
Yeah.
teams,
Yeah.
right? You don't want these little guys getting crushed by these 350-pound
Right.
Right.
guys that can bench press 500 pounds. I mean, it's like it's not fair to them. So anyway, we'll see how it works out. I'm hoping that it's going to work out.
St.
well.
Louis is playing this
So we
week. right?
play Waianae next week Friday.
Why not?
There you go.
At Waianae, and then we after that we're going to be playing one of the top football teams in the country. It's
which one is that?
it's Narbonne, is it called? And we played them last year. We barely won the very last minute, and they're really strong. So we'll see what happens this year.
Extra security gonna be at these games, you think?
You know, people have asked that question.
I mean,
it's true.
it's
true.
like-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you know.
we have to try our best to be able to, you know, protect the people, and we are having conversations about that right now to see what we can do.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that everyone, you know,
Right.
in the end, you'd be surprised
Yeah.
when our football players meet the other teams. A lot of times, it's their best friends. They know each other. They know each other
It's
because
the
they live
parents
from
in
the
the
same
stands,
area. Usually, it's the parents. Yeah, usually not all the time, but and then most parents are really supportive and good. But you're gonna have a few here and there that might take you a little too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting. I'm kind of expecting. I'm not that I want it, but you know, you just know that it's so rival heated. You know, because you know the kids from Waianae go out into St. Louis.
Oh,
they
true.
go come at Mel.
But like we were in
It's
Waianae
like-
last year for a preseason game,
Right.
and that game was really lopsided. I think it was like 44-6 or something. But there were no and so hopefully it'll be the same thing.
Different stakes though now, right?
Different stakes.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
preseason. Yeah.
So how does it go to the championship now then? So there's 3 different brackets,
Yeah.
and then
Well, the games that was another thing that was asked of us. They said that the games against the OIA teams will not count towards getting into the playoffs.
okay,
So
okay.
it's still essentially
Okay.
what it was last year.
Right.
And
Okay.
these other games are kind of like exhibition in some ways
Right.
games. So
So the games
Yeah,
that
that
matter for
makes
St. Louis is Kamehameha and
yeah,
Pro.
coming in pro
Right.
basically. Yeah, which is to me I don't like, but
Yeah,
and hopefully
yeah.
that'll change in a couple of years.
Hopefully, yeah, because that's just almost, yeah, it's kind of
But again, it's that impression that Punahou, Iolani, and Kamehameha are just going to roll over everybody.
right.
But we'll see what happens, right? I mean, if you look at what happens in the playoffs, that's not the case.
Oh no.
In the playoffs, it's very evenly
The
matched.
Islands are really good too
Right,
this year.
but they're assuming that that's because that's the cream of the crop of the
Right,
island.
right.
Let's see what happens. But I think there's going to be a mixture. I think there are
Yeah,
going to be some blowouts. I think there are going to be some close ones. I think we have a chance of, you know, there could be a chance that we lose games to some of the stronger teams
Right,
like
right.
Kahuku, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change as well. There's a million more questions. we
Yeah,
can ask,
yeah,
of course, Glenn. But we're down to 5.
Okay.
Because it's a little game we play where we're just going to go with 5 questions at random. And the goal is to get all 5 correct
Okay.
for respect, basically. And here we are. So we got 5 questions with Glenn Medeiros. And
Hey.
so question number 1, we started with geography.
Okay.
Explain in Pidgin how to get from the Light Sleeper store here to W&M Burger. Are you a fan of W&M Burger?
I do like it actually. Yes. Okay. In Pigeon.
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 When was the last time you spoke, being a doctor and all? When was the last time you busted out?
You got your moke flag free.
Oh, okay. Well, I grew up speaking Pigeon, so
Yes.
But it
It's Kauai Pigeon. though.
takes a Kauai Pigeon, which is another level.
It's a different level, yeah.
Every island is different.
That's the different style.
I don't know.
How would you do a Kauai style?
Yeah, from
Okay.
here.
So Kauai style would be you only mention you don't mention any street numbers and names. You just
Correct,
mention
yes.
the places.
Right.
That's it,
So,
yes, that's universal,
If you
yes.
go straight with the car up the street, keep going towards. I don't know.
You see
The landmark. The landmark.
Uh,
the
you see-
landmark.
You see him?
Go towards Diamond Head,
There you go.
and then take one left on right before you
Where?
see the gas station on the
Yeah.
right.
The gas station.
Pull one left.
I go see him then.
Make sure no hemorrhage in the car, because the left turn is hard.
yeah, it is. It is hard.
I don't know.
That is with the That is correct. That is correct. The left turn is hard.
And then you
It
go,
is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Get city meal,
Yeah.
yeah,
gas station.
that's right.
Always a gas
Small
station.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Gotta wait a long time. All right, you're 1 for 1. Question number 2. What is the name of the Bobby Brown song from the movie Ghostbusters 2?
Oh.
Ghostbusters 2, not a very memorable
Well, I
movie.
guess we're gonna have to. That one there? Make it known.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
And he sang it.
And he
Bonus
sang it.
points.
Bonus point. You already win. You win already.
First bonus point.
We don't need to even ask the 3 other questions. Wow. Yes, you are correct. Number 3, other than yourself, name a famous Medeiros.
Oh.
There's
There are
a
many.
Medeiros that is doing that martial arts.
Yes.
And I try to keep track of him. Trying to remember his first name.
First,
Sorry.
you got
but,
it. You got one.
but he's
right
he's
there.
really good.
Tip of the
Yes.
tongue.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't remember his first name though. His last name okay?
You got 50%.
All right.
Start. I'll give you a clue. Starts with a Y.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rhymes with Nancy.
Yancy.
Hey!
There you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is correct.
Oh, Nancy.
Exactly.
Did he cancel the last fight? I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Here we go. Question number 4, and this is gonna be a deep pull. Let's see if you get this one. Name the movie starring Scott Bale, who gained psychic powers from a lab explosion.
Zapped.
There we go. That's right. There we go.
Oh, God.
Insider story kind of helps you out with that one because the last time we were at Hasser,
Yes.
and you know as we go there we get all wild and woolly, and that came up.
Yes.
And
yes.
you played songs
That's crazy.
from
Yeah.
the Zap soundtrack, which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
None of us knew existed.
No, but
And
great movie.
It was
Great
a
movie.
Yes.
I can
We all
watch
know
that.
the memorable scene.
Yes.
Glenn knows it well. Kevin knows it well.
I know well, bro. Plenty times. When I got HBO, that was my number 1 show.
Pause, rewind, play. Pause, rewind, play. Excellent. Okay.
But the love story. That was the.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Of course. That's what we all clearly remember of Scott Bale.
Bill.
So,
Who's his love interest in there?
who was
I don't
that?
remember her name,
Oh
but,
gosh.
Long black hair, glasses.
Yes.
Uh,
Was she in anything else?
She had to have been,
She was
right?
in some other thing. There we go. Pull it up.
there's a
there.
remake of it, I guess.
80 to 82.
Who's the actress? You found it? Kevin,
It's popping up. Sorry,
see the name
internet,
here. Here we
bro.
go.
Willie Ames. Oh, I'm Willie Ames. He was classic.
Oh yeah. He was.
How come it's not the
Willie
girl's
Ames.
name?
Oh.
There is no mention of the girl's name. There you go.
Scott Bale, Willie Ames,
Felice. Yeah, Bernadette.
Ah,
Shachter.
Shachter.
Felice Schachter.
Ah, wow. Was that
Was she
different
in
strokes?
as well?
Yeah.
Just the 10 of us or something? What was that?
Facts of Life.
She was in Facts of Life.
Ah, but
See?
that
There
dude
we
though,
are.
his sidekick dude,
He was funny.
He was the classic. Willie
Yeah.
Ames
Willie
is the
Ames,
classic
yes.
sidekick guy.
Yeah. He
Yes.
was. Yeah.
There you go. There he
There it
is.
is, bruh.
Was he was in Charles in Charge? Was
Yes,
that right?
yes.
My goodness.
Oh.
Willie Ames reference is being
Yeah.
said in a Glenn Medeiros interview.
Yeah.
How about it? Okay. Question number 5. Right now, you're batting 1,000 right now, even with the song alone. After all this time, Glenn, is she still ain't worth it? In 2018, is she just still not worth it?
Oh, that depends on who the she is.
Oh, that's great answer.
Great
Yes.
answer.
Yeah, that
Great
depends.
answer.
Talking about the
No.
wife, very much worth
You
it.
know, to be honest with you, that I had mentioned that I didn't work on the lyrics or the melody to
Yes.
that song, but that was one thing that I felt kind of uncomfortable with,
Wow.
to say that.
I can understand that, yes,
Yeah.
from what you were saying too. Because
Even though
of
it's coming from
your
a
background.
positive place and
Yeah.
the lyric was
Right.
written by a female,
Right.